Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, this is the Admiral Datman summary for January the 11th, 1942. So things are going well enough. We had Luna torpedoed last turn, but she's looking pretty good. I did contemplate leaving her behind in Evil Talk, but I'm thinking, well, it's probably not worthwhile to remain behind in Evil Talk, just on any off chance, really. So what I'm doing is having her move out. I mean, yes, it's going to slow down the forces to 12 knots, but 12 knots is still fine. She does have a little bit of damage here, a little bit of flood damage, but what I'd like to do is actually get her away from Niwatok. The reason being, we know that Niwatok is now known as a, well, as a location for said battleship. If he's going to be doing anything, he'll be heading for Niwatok, so we'll get her moving. What I'll do then afterwards is probably have her, now, not truck, but maybe truck due to the fact that it does have a large port for the time being, but we'll likely have her sent back to Japan, really. Just a little bit annoying, but hey, it is what it is. Now, we have Yokohama Yokosuka, which is 90,000 tons capacity. We do have Tokyo, which is 10,000. Okay, so she's either going to go to Yokohama Yokosuka, or she can go to, like, Nagasaki. Nagasaki's 90,000 tons as well. We do have 100,000 tons in Hiroshima. And yeah, it looks like she'll go to Hiroshima. Yeah, Hiroshima. Or Nagasaki. Oh no, sorry, Kyoto. Yeah, so she'll go to Hiroshima. That makes sense. She can spend, I don't know, maybe about 2 weeks there, likely. It depends, really. I'd be rather intrigued to see how long it would take. In fairness, if I take a look over here, then, at what we have here, we do have First Fleet, so that's additional naval support there. It's a size 9 port. It's got a very large shipyard. I don't imagine it taking that long, really. Would not imagine so. I mean, there's probably other naval... Yeah, we have combined fleets over here. So that's it. If I wanted to move additional naval support out that way, I could do. As to whether... I'd have to look into it, as to what degree of difference that makes. I imagine it does make a difference. But we'll see. So what we're going to be doing, then, is the... Well, the Kaga and her flotilla is going to be essentially traveling down here to... Rongelap? Rongelap. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that. The, Kiribatai is over here at Jalawat. They are going to be moving to said port as well. We do have a little bit of an issue with fuel here, however. So it might be that we'll go to Kwajalein, perhaps. What I'm going to do then is set the home port over there then. So they're fine for that. What I'll do then, we do have this oil over here. I was going to have that head over this way. But I'll have it head there as well. Okay. Yeah, not be that far away. What we'll do then is we'll just refuel from the BBs or the other ships there, just share that fuel out somewhat. We do see that there are destroyers over here, which is intriguing. What I'm doing then is in Evil Talk, I'm going to be having the Hastings K4s. They're running at 25 during the daytime. We've had a naval search there. We do have our naval search out here from Marcus Island too. Let's see there. They're also running at 25. The aircraft don't have that much fatigue. We do also have some aircraft in reserve here, which is nice. We'll have one come back online tomorrow. Another one is going to be some weeks away, though. I mean, it's over 2 weeks there. Which is... it's more... It might as well be like a write-off for the most part. But it does need some serious repair. But we can go ahead and... we could potentially move it elsewhere via ship, potentially. But it will eventually repair. It is a useful aircraft, nonetheless. Big investment there. So we do have our submarines over here, which are patrolling. It is intriguing. He's moving west. I will be rather intrigued to see what he does there. We are aware there's a likely at least 2 units of wake. What I'm doing here then is I'm going to actually have the Kaga task force led by the patrol boats over here. So they're going to be following the patrol boats out of the Niwatok. So the idea is the ASW task force will be here, and then the CVs will be there, as the ASW task force is here, so on and so forth. There'll always be like one heads behind. So the ASW task force moves through the area first. which is a good way of doing things. I'm still moving the 24th Air Flotilla over here. We do have a vast majority of it there now, but there's just a little bit remaining over here. As you can see. Yep, not much. Really not much. But that'll be moved over entirely to Roy Mer then after this turn, I'd imagine. You can see that's taken our aviation support up to 74, which is nice. It makes a hell of a lot more sense. It's a size 4 airfield. It makes more sense to actually have it there. Kaijulane does have a larger port, but it has a much smaller airfield, while this actually has a decent port and a nice airfield. So we might as well make use of it. Right. And what I've gone ahead and done over here then is actually folded in the heavy cruisers as well. Just to make sure that we actually have some surface protection, really. Well, what we'll do then is obviously we'll fold in our forces here. We're going to have the Kiribatai reformed to a degree. I would bring a Kargi, but what I'm going to do with a Kargi is I was actually going to have these B4Y1s actually resize aboard her, but we're going to have to wait a day for the aircraft aboard the Akagi to be repaired, and then I can actually unload them again. So it's going to take about a day there, and then I'll be able to unload them. What I've gone ahead and done then is transferred the Zeros from the Akagi. Did we actually lose them in the flight over? It looks like one ops or so, which is unfortunate. So what I'm going to do then is have them run cap. Go over about, yeah. About 40% then, I guess. I'm going to have a little bit of cap just over in Neotalk. The reason being, well, he may come in here to attack, so I'd like to have some fight to support there. But we'll see about that. They're also in a position where they could be potentially of use to us, which is nice. So I could potentially have them used to help in some capacity. What I'm going to do then is move the Akagi out in the near future. But I want to go ahead and resize some additional squadrons before we do move the Akagi. I mean, 5 carriers is going to be pretty much insurmountable for him. It comes down to a question of like where his carriers are, but it's hard to say. But we do have a larger network of naval search, which is very nice. I think I might push these guys out. We do have 2 more that are ready tomorrow, 1 after that. We do have, yeah, fatigue's not too bad. I guess we'll push them out to 25 as well. Fatigue on the squadron is not so bad, really. So that means that we'll have pretty decent coverage out here during the daytime. They, of course, do have local float planes running night naval search, which is good for them. So what we're going to do then is essentially prepare to land a Wake. What I will do then is bombard Wake beforehand. I'll go ahead and actually just send like a patrol boat into Wake and just see what happens if there's any mines there, essentially. That sort of thing, and then follow with bombardment. So bombardment is very unlikely to be hit by mines, but it's better to be sure. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Because if you can actually identify a minefield, it's significantly less likely to be dangerous to you, which is good. Okay. And moving in these ships over here, they're still being covered by the Zeros over here at delay, which is nice. Yep. As you can see, we're covering here. What I'm going to do then is actually just lower that. Have a couple on cap as well, just to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and move more supply down to this area in the near future. I do have 2,000 tons over here, which is moving down towards Talagi. I'd like to have a little bit more of Talagi, really. Just so I can build it up somewhat more, if I choose to do so. I'd just like to have a bit more there while it's quiet, because otherwise I'm not going to get a chance to get it there. So what we're going to go ahead and do is move supply to this area. That is going to be the idea there. I do have a little bit of supply unloading over here. Another 763 tons of supply from the Amphibious Task Force into the Bowels and Ice. It's going to give us about, yeah, it's going to take us closer to 10,000. Not quite, but it is going to take us closer. We do have fuel moving down towards Rabal 2, which is excellent. Yeah, the supply here if we needed it as well. So that's something we can possibly use. But they're going to go ahead and disband there. I do have fuel that's moving in towards Tulagi. That's going to take them some time. They're going to move 6 hexters today, so, well, into the next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they'll be about here, then they'll move into Tulagi. The good news is that means they'll arrive in Tulagi at night, and then they'll be able to unload ideally quickly enough, and then get the hell out. It'll probably take them 2 days to unload and then get moving. But at least if we can get some fuel down here to Talagi, that's going to be good. It serves very well as a submarine base then for us, which is very nice. Okay. So the heavy cruisers over here. It does look like we sank all of the APs over here, which is nice. But I'm not going to count my eggs before. Well, I'm not going to count my chickens before the eggs hatch there. So I'm going to have the actual heavy cruiser go ahead and link up with the tanker over here and escort them into Kopang. Once we get some fuel at Kopang, then Kopang becomes a very nice submarine base there. It's very useful for us to refuel from, which is excellent. It just means that we can push the range out there a little bit more, which is very good. I have somewhat altered the submarine patterns over here. We did see some detection over here. We know there's aircraft over here at Sydney. But the intriguing thing is we have one detection at Sydney, but we see at Sydney there's... Oh, well, actually no, we do see there's actually something at the port there. Okay, so that's good to know anyway. Yeah, it's going to be intriguing. I don't think his carriers are here at Brisbane. I would be surprised if they were, to be honest. But we'll see about that. We do have a couple of decisions to make. What I'm going to be doing as well, by the way, is I'm going to be just giving a little bit more time over here. I'm going to be moving out a aviation unit to Cocos Island. But I'm going to give it a little bit more time. I just want to see how things settle before we move out there. I mean, I could load them up now, but I'd rather load them up with some supply rather than send them straight out. So, we'll go from there then. Yeah, but there's a requirement there. Okay. So, refuel them. There we go. That's very nice. So, things are moving now. We did sink the shipping in this area, which was nice. I don't think anything really escaped, which is excellent. And is very good for us. We are going to be resting again here at Singapore, likely 2 days before we attack again. Which is, it is what it is, really. It does mean that additional forces will be closer. We may even wait for them, but we'll give it 2 days. We do have a headquarters here, we do have additional support in the area as well. So they'll likely recover sooner than beforehand, really. We're going to continue to bomb the airfield to actually keep that damage up over there. But the good news is, I think he had level 1 fortifications. Yeah, he had level 1 fortifications. So he'll now have level 0 fortifications, and we'll keep it like that. So that's good. So when we do attack the next time, he's not going to have any fortifications to help him, which is excellent. I don't think he'll recover any strength there. I would have to double check, but I don't think he's going to get any replacement squads there in Singapore, because they've been cut off there. I'm not too sure, I'd have to check that one out. Whereas we do get replacement squads, albeit very slowly. But I'd have to check that out. I would have to definitely check that out. So I do have additional aviation support actually coming in from Japan down here to Luzon. Now, myself and Infinite Monkey, we were actually talking about Luzon. We're actually talking about, well, maybe one of the options would be to move to the space here to then move to Manila. But we did really come down to the hard conclusion that now Clark has level 3 fortifications, something in that sort of area, which sucks, okay? It's times 3, okay, it sucks. The best bet we're going to have, really, is to just deal with Clark first. We've got to deal with Clark, really, before anything else, because it is the toughest. If we went ahead and attacked Manila, we could probably attack Manila, but it would mean I would leave forces over here to be potentially attacked, and we'd be over here, and potentially he could force his way out there. But the issue is, if we attack Manila, and they retreated to Clark, then all we'd have done then is succeeded in making Clark even more difficult and fighting with reduced forces. True, the Manila garrison would be reduced, but the thing is they'd be moving into times 3 terrain. So it's probably better then just to hit Clark, reduce those fortifications, and we'll just take it by ear, really. It might be that we just continue to attack Clark. His forces there have been attacked beforehand. They have been bombarded for a number of turns now. So it'll be intriguing to see. We do have a large collection of, well, artillery there, which is very nice. So we do outgun him. It's a shame that we have the RF gun battalions over here. I was hoping that they would actually fight, but they can only defend. But hey, that's not too bad. I guess at the end of the day, it means that should he attack us, we actually have the defensive AT guns there. It's a shame we can't make use of them, really. I suppose it's to represent the fan band, yeah, it's just, yeah. They're not really offensive units. But that's okay. We do have a second tank regiment helping us out over here, so we do have some 95 light tanks. We do have a 97 medium tank there, which helps us out too. They would form the independent tank brigade. Yeah, achieve a long time out there. But they're useful. We can see they're planning for Clark, so that's good. So, yeah. It's likely to be bloody at Clark tomorrow, but we do have a actual core headquarters here. We also do have a headquarters over here, the 5th Fleet headquarters, which is also in combat mode and it's planned for Clark. So we actually do have some benefit then. We do have some... I'm going to have to take a look at these headquarters, by the way, and make sure their commanders are correct. The only thing really this turn that needs to be decided is like how many zeros I move from Palembang. Now, I think we've more or less dealt with the air power in Java. Though that might not be true, you know. Maybe we haven't dealt with all of it. Maybe there's some element of air power here in Java that we haven't yet found. So I think what we can do here really is, I think move out 1-0 squadron. I mean, I'd like to move out more, frankly, but we have to make sure we have some zeros here. I mean, what we could do is essentially take the 3rd KUS. I mean, they have a lot of fatigue there. Would be a better idea to probably leave behind the Thailand KUS. Because these guys are going to... Well, then again, no. Yeah, they're going to be in action this turn. Sorry, they'd be in action this turn. So I might as well leave the Thailand KOS. Have the 3rd KOS actually transferred. Oh, I can't do that now due to supply issues. Okay. Well, in fairness, I could go over here then to Johor Bahru. And then transfer via the rail lines. At least they're only flying a few hexes compared to flying all the way to Bangkok. Yeah, I mean, it's 8 versus 29 hexes. I can imagine one's going to help out. But in fairness, if I can't transfer, then it might be better just to stay here for the time being, perhaps. I mean, I could potentially have them sweep multiple airfields, but I don't think that particularly matters, really. I think we do need to move them. I mean, we are getting ready for the invasion. I do have the forces moving over here to BLeAcHACiD. We're not too far off from Singapore, really. It'll be intriguing to see how things go, but it's not too far. It might be that we'll leave the zeros in place as they are right now, and just ensure that we do completely control these skies over Java. But it always makes you feel like you could be doing more. We're going to have one more attack over here at Benklin. Ideally this succeeds over here at Benklin. We do have additional forces moving there. Okay. I mean, they're to arrive at Benklin tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is actually cancel that and have them move back over here to Istarbin. The reason being I can use them to actually secure islands. I mean, I could potentially have them move there, but hey, we've already changed it now, so that's not too much of a problem anyway. So they're moving out to there, carrying additional DDs, DMSs there, which is nice, additional capacity. And we're going to be capturing these islands over here, these bases. So they're going to attack. We'll capture that base too, and we'll capture this base as well, Tawi, which is nice. So we'll have secured all these islands over here, which is good. What we'll then begin to do is, I'm going to look towards like Cebu, capturing key bases within the Philippine archipelago. The only thing is, there are bases like this that you do have to garrison, like Cebu's a 40 garrison. It probably is better to leave them until last, really, because then that means that I can't move on from them. So yeah, probably ignore them to the last, then I suppose you could say. We'll see how things go. It might be worthwhile to bring additional Naval Guard units to Luzon, perhaps, and have them made available. It's a tough one, really, to say there. The Naval Guard units aren't that large, but they're still pretty decent. I mean, they're usually about half the strength of a regiment, for the most part, depending on the strength of the regiment, to about a third. But a couple of Naval Guard units moved over here to Luzon could be useful. The only issue is they're small units, they're probably going to get beaten up more than anything. I think Luzon is a interesting one because we have moved more force, more power there than historical. I think really where we've lost out is not having the air power there. I should have kept the air power there, really. Or at least move the bombers back there sooner rather than later. Rather than allow him to actually build up fortifications. But then this is the thing, you can only move so fast in Luzon. We might be able to bomb these bases, but if I can't keep up the damage, it's not really that worthwhile. And the thing is as well, we always have to respect the spectre of American air power showing back up once again. That's the thing we've got to look out for. But beyond that, we're mostly just carrying on, really. Things are chugging along quite nicely. We are getting there. I do have this supply that's going to be moving out from Saigon shortly, which is good news. What I'm going to do here then is go ahead and grab cargo ships, but I'm going to go ahead and grab... oh yeah, that's the issue there. We have patrol boats moving at 11, but even 11's better than nothing, so what I can do then is take that one, I'll grab these 12 knotters. I mean, they're still... I mean, obviously they're very lightly protected. They're not going to move their full speed, but they're still going to move at least 9 knots. If we take a look over here, these guys are going to move at 8 knots, so yeah, we might as well get them moving. These guys move at 8 knots as well. You move at 9. So yeah, we might as well go at 9 knots. It's a little bit faster. They're moving out of that a little bit sooner. They'd also begin, well, they'd immediately set out for Palembang, which is nice. So you can see there, 3, 2... Yeah, doesn't look to be that much of a difference, but that's fine. We'll get them moving now. Get them moving. That's okay. Yeah, so what we'll do then is we'll get the supply down to Palembang. I may have these zeros begin moving out then afterwards. But I think for the time being, we'll just get the damage up at Batavia. Let's see. Yeah, they're hitting the airfield. I think we'll just continue to hit the airfield. I think I'll have unit divided. Well, what I'll do then is I'll have them rest while they are here. And what I'll happen is one of the Thailand KOS go ahead and actually just run sweeps. Yeah, there's only bombers here now. But we're still going to keep sweeping there. Okay. So we'll keep up those sweeps then. We'll allow the other squadrons to actually rest in a Palembang and then we'll transfer it out then. I think that makes sense then. They can't use drop tanks right now, so I'll wait for the supply to move to Palembang, but give them the time to rest then. We're going to be moving out towards the capture of Wake then shortly. I mean, once Wake is gone, then that is a 4.5 side removed, which is very nice. We are moving supply. I've been doing a few logistical things, getting a few logistical elements moving around. I could probably do with more supply moving towards the front lines. But we're now getting to that point now where the majority of production is coming to a close, where we'll have the, like for example, the 86M2 production expansion, that's nearly done now. But at 5 zeros a day, we're almost finished with the Key 43s as well. So it's production like that that's coming to an end, which is going to be quite nice. It means that we'll be saving a few thousand tons of supply each time from that because we're not spending it each turn to repair. So that's nice. We have been able to move fuel to Indochina. We're going to continue to do that really because it does come in quite handy. It does help us out. But yeah, things are going well enough. We're going to have some battles going on over here in China as well. Soon enough, not yet, but soon. We are going to see a battle over here across the river from Homeland as our Thai forces do cross over there. So we'll arrive tomorrow and we'll be in in combat mode. It looks like there's only 3 units there, so we should be able to deal with that. Right, what I'm going to do here then is have these Key 43s. I'm going to have them actually run long-range cap over our forces there. We'll see what altitude they came in at. If we get a chance to jump them, then that's probably worthwhile, really. L212's there. Okay. Right. So they came in there around about 8,000 feet, so I can go in, but they obviously tacked at 100 feet there, actually. Oh, 100, 6,000, 6,000, interesting. So we'll come in about, I guess about 7,000 perhaps. I could leave one squadron here. But I think I'd probably be better off sending both of them, really. No, if I do that, then we have no, like, protection over here, do we? So that's fine. Just keep that protection up over Bangkok. It's not worthwhile dropping it, is it really? We'll have them coming in at about 7,000 feet then. Get them to drop tanks there, which they probably don't need. We'll run the long-range cap over there. So we'll see how we get on. Well, see how we get on over there. Ideally, we do pick up some targets. But there we go. So I think that will more or less cover things, really. Things that started to chug along, really. Once we have Java under our control, things will be really quite good. I can't wait for... Well, I can't really wait for Singapore to fall. It's not that far away. It's just going to take a little bit longer. But we're not quite there yet. So I'm going to say we're about done there. So thank you very much there for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And Tano Henka Banzai, I am Minasai, and I shall see you all in the future. And goodbye for now.